Hey, Sean, y'all had some issues earlier this year at defending in the red zone, but today 1 for 4 for Atlanta. They just kind of the last couple of weeks y'all have been doing really well. What have you been doing better there?
Well, look, I think the first thing starts with defending the run. Those were big stops we had in the game. Forcing the field goals. That was the difference in winning and losing. And but obviously it's fitting the run correctly, and then playing your red zone defense. There might be 2 or 3 different calls you're playing, but getting real comfortable with the route combinations.
Hey, Sean, Tyson did a great job in the first half of converting on third downs, but how would you evaluate his overall performance today?
I think his third downs all game were strong. I thought his performance was strong. He made a lot of throws. I don't like the position I put him in late in that game with the turnover, but that's what I saw. I thought, man, we converted a number of third downs. I don't know what our final percentage was. I think we were 9 or something, 9 or 13. I thought he played well.
Sean, another 200 yards on the ground. Just talk about the offensive line today and kind of what your impressions were of the blocking.
Yeah, it's a tough run front. There's a lot of movement. Those guys do a very good job. They're well coached. They play with leverage, and man, they make some of the stuff you want to do very difficult. I was proud of how we just kind of hung in there though and grinded and battled it out. And I thought, look, that ended up being part of the difference. The time of possession, I think, was significant, especially in the first half.
A little short-handed at corner today, and then P-Rob went out early. How do you feel that PJ did coming back over and playing corner?
Look, I think he did well. It's great to have that depth. When you're out one, then you're out another. A lot of times, especially against, some of the receivers that we saw today, that could be challenging. I thought he competed his tail off, though.
And when you mentioned you didn't like the position you put Taysom in at the end of the game with the turnover, what do you mean by that? Did you mean you just didn't like
I don't like my call there. I think it's second down and where we're at in the game. Every once in a while I'll have, regrets on a situation, and that one certainly will be one of them.
Are those turnovers something that is an easy fix? Is it something just as simple as how he's carrying the ball?
Well, we're talking about 2 topics here. The turnover down in the red zone was when he was trying to, we just need to, like I said, handle that situation better. The ball security when he's a runner, all right, that has to get fixed, and look, he'll start figuring it out. But yeah, that obviously when we're in the 4-minute is real important.
Sean, what did you see on that play where you guys made the 7-yard loss with Gurley on the third down to set up the 4th and goal for Atlanta?
What did I see?
Yeah, how did you see your team defend it?
I thought, man, the play skipped outside, and sometimes when that happens on that scheme, and I know the scheme, it goes to the corner. I thought we kept our leverage well. We tackled well, and he's someone that's dangerous if it yips outside. You see that happen with backs, but that was a significant play.
Sean, this is 8-0 over the last 2 years in games that Drew didn't play. Is there an explanation for that? Do you handle the week differently somehow when he's not?
No, listen. It's the position everyone focuses on, but man, our team's playing well, and man, we're fortunate to have depth at a number of positions, and that's including quarterback. And so I'm proud of how we played. We knew it was going to be a tough game. Playing a team like this the second time around in 2 weeks, the numbers aren't really good for the team in the past that have won the first game. When you look back on 15 years, 10 years, any study you want. So, but yeah, relative to, I just think we're doing a number of things that give us a chance to win. Obviously, there's some stuff that we've got to clean up. All right, thank you.
All right, you guys, we have Alvin Kamara joining us. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and I'll call on you. First one's from Nick Underhill.
Hey, I ask you about the passes every week. It seems like it looked like that play where you fumbled could have been a pass down the field. But was that the design? Like, would you have taken a shot down the field if that had been a little bit cleaner?
I don't know. The playing happened, so I don't know if it was a pass or a run. It was a fumble.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Yeah, Alvin, this is another game, 200-plus yards rushing as a team. Any difference in this one? And how important is what happens on the edge? There was one that Traquan had a guy locked up on the edge. How good are you guys on the edge blocking for the run?
I say this every week. We're great on the edge blocking. I mean, if we're just talking about the run game, I mean, it starts with the O-line. They do a great job of preparing. I mean, another week where we're shuffling guys, obviously Teron out, Hurst in there holding down his spot. I mean, these guys, they up front, they do a great job, man, week in and week out. Little praise, but, man, their job, I mean, makes our offense go, so kudos to them.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, but what was going through your mind when the Falcons, were right there? I think they had a 2nd and 2 from the 13 of the 2-minute warning. Were you like getting ready to, go down there and have your own 2-minute drive, or were you kind of having confidence in defense to make a stop?
I had the confidence in the defense, but I'm always ready. We're always ready as an offense. Whatever the case may be. 2nd and 2. We were just looking at analytics. That's a favorable drive. A favorable position for an offense to be in. But the defense played great all game, and we got some great results, and we were able to get out of there and get a win.
Next one's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Alvin, 3 games in, can you sort of notice how more comfortable it seems like Taysom is getting with his offense and just being able to get it downfield?
Yeah, that just comes with in-game experience. He's settling down. He's finding his reads. He's he hasn't played quarterback. This is like you said, like he hasn't played quarterback. He's been playing just football, and for him to be out there just getting a good feeling and getting a rhythm and getting more comfortable as the weeks go on. It's great to see because you can see the evolution.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Alvin, when Mike's doing what he did today, he went over 100 yards again. What does that do for the offense as a whole, just when he's having a big day like that?
And it opens it up, I've been saying it since when Mike went down, and everybody was asking me, what it would mean to have Mike, and what does it mean without Mike, and you see what happens when he's healthy and he's feeling it and he's in the groove. He could kill you if you don't account for him. So he was able to get some good looks and come down with the ball in some critical situations, and we love it when he's healthy. Yeah, he helps our offense.
We're all set. Appreciate it, okay?
Yep.
We have Taysom Hill.
You guys can go ahead and put your questions in the chat for Taysom, and I'll call on you. First question's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Taysom, just first, how did it feel to get that first touchdown pass thrown? And also, just how comfortable are you getting in this offense? It seems we can see the progression each week.
Yeah. Look, I don't care as much as people might think about statistics and all this stuff. I care about winning football games. I know there've been a lot of conversations about and getting your first touchdown completion. But as long as we're winning football games, I'm happy. So I was certainly happy about it because I knew it was going to help us win. And I was happy for Traquan, and he ran a great route. And Coach, that was a late ad in the week, and it's one of those things that makes Coach Payton.
Next one's from Sean Fazend.
Hey, Taysom, how big was third downs today, especially in that first half? You had a string of something like 8 or 9 completions on third downs.
I don't know what the stat was, but I certainly was aware of it. I was really happy with our game plan going into the game on third down. man, I think our coaches did a phenomenal job of putting us in situations to be successful on third down. You know, I would say that there was kind of a funky looks that I was not expecting on third down, but we had practiced it, and sure enough, we got it. And man, some of those were big conversions.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Yeah, hey, Taysom, you said Wednesday that last week's game plan made you maybe a little more trigger shy on getting rid of the ball. Clearly, you felt quicker and freer this week. Would that be safe to say?
Yeah, look, I mean, as I was preparing for this week, I have a lot of respect for Matt Ryan and what he's done in Atlanta and how successful he's been. And they have weapons, you know, and they're explosive. And, you know, so as I approached this game, it was a much different mindset for me. I knew that, like, I could, and we needed to let it loose, and we needed some offensive productivity today. And it was just a total different mindset for sure.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Taysom, did you think you were potentially going to have to go through your own, like a 2-minute drive behind for the first time as a starter?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, for some reason I'm kind of fading in and out here. Did you feel like you were potentially, like, were you preparing yourself to have to go through like a 2-minute offense at the end there?
Yeah, we were. Look, ROC, Pete Carmichael, and I sat down and we went through our 2-minute stuff and talked about the stuff that we liked, and we were getting prepped and ready to do it if we had to.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Taysom, is there something you can identify with the ball security as a runner that, you know, you could just fix and prevent some of those fumbles?
I mean, look, we're obviously trying to get a first down, run the clock down. I got to put 2 hands on the ball in that situation. You know, the guy came over and made a good play and top down, ball out. You know, I'm obviously disappointed about that. And something that I certainly need to fix. And I think it really boils down to just 2 hands on the ball.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, going back to the run game, 200 plus yards for all of you collectively, and then you had 80 subs, including that 43-yard scramble. What did you see on that play that allowed you to get so far down?
Yeah, I mean, it was man-to-man. It was interesting in the first half. We were getting a lot of 2-man on third down. So as a quarterback and as a guy that can run, you're kind of licking your chops when you see that. So I was aware of it. I don't recall if that was 2-man, but it was man-to-man. No one was there for me. So I was obviously able to escape the pocket and make a good play.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Taysom, when Mike Thomas is playing the way he's playing right now, and it seems like you have a really good confidence with him, just how big is that for y'all as an offense when he's playing like that?
I mean, Mike Thomas is phenomenal. He's a big, strong, physical receiver. Such a security blanket for a quarterback early in his career. So I know that dude's going to fight on every play. He's so big, strong, and physical that if you make the right throw, he's open. So, man, I appreciate how hard he plays, how competitive he is, and I love playing with him.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Taysom, I know you said you're not that into numbers, but just how comfortable do you think you've gotten, and what do you think of your development from start 1 to start 3?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we've gotten 3 wins. You know, so that is the statistic that I care most about. As far as my overall development and the process, I feel like I'm becoming more and more comfortable operating the offense, and I feel like there are so many ways that I can continue to get better, which is encouraging when we're moving the ball, we're winning football games. There's still places for us to get better at, but overall, I'm getting more and more comfortable.
Last question's from Doug Mouton.
Yeah, Taysom, the one early in the fourth quarter when you got hit throwing it and they ruled it a fumble, did you think that was the right call, and how would you describe that play?
look, I'm obviously disappointed about that play as well. We had points. It was one of those things where I was just trying to make a play, and really my thought process was trying to avoid something bad from happening by just throwing the ball away. And in turn, something bad happened. You know, look, I know that it was reviewed and they said it was a fumble, but my mindset was just trying to throw the ball away and give us an opportunity on third down. In hindsight, I obviously wish I would have just taken the sack, kicked the field goal. Would have been big points for us. Thanks, guys.
All right, we're all set. Thanks, Taysom.
We have Trey next.
All right.
All right, we got Trey Hendrickson joining us, and first questions from Amy Just.
Happy belated, by the way. 3 sacks for the 3 of you, or all of you, together with Carl Granderson's strip sack. How big was that play by Carl today?
You know, one of the keys to victory is hitting the quarterback. You know, we want to do that as a collective group, and that's you know, that's DBs, linebackers, all that stuff. But when opportunity comes, he made the most of it. Strip sack down there is huge. So.
What did you see on your sack there too?
Just pushing the center into Matt, tripping him up, you know, and as he's going down, we got guys like it's a game of seconds, you know, and I'm just blessed to be in that opportunity to get another one, and you know, that's what it's all about. It's a team game. We're all collectively getting after them and inevitably going for the win, and they can't ask for more.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Hey Trey, when y'all been down in the red zone, it seems like y'all really fixed whatever was kind of ailing y'all earlier in the year. How big was that today to just get the 3 stops and 4 chances down there?
You know, it feels good. Anytime you got them kicking field goals and giving the ball back to Taysom in the offense, that's a win for us. You know, it's 11 guys doing their job every play, and the end result showed tonight. And then specifically on that the one late in the game when you know I think they were at the 13. What did you see on like that big 7-yard loss to set up that 4th down? You know, like you're saying, I mean, everything happens for a reason. You know, like Carl's stretching it out. You know, you got guys running to the ball. That's what we coach every day in practice. So I mean, it's just guys executing the assignments and, you know, pushing them back.
Next one's from Amy Just.
How big was it for y'all to get Sheldon back today after he missed 4 games?
You know, Sheldon's a force, and like I said before, you know, if we're adding tools to the toolbox, it can only help us. You know, he's a freak athlete, and he's got some serious wiggle on pass rush, and he's a force to run stop too. So I mean, adding another tool like that, I mean, you can't ask for more.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Trey, what's it mean to you just week 13 to have a shot at leading the NFL in sacks?
Well, truthfully, what it comes down to is if we're sacking quarterbacks, we're getting off the field and giving the ball back to the offense. So inevitably, we're just trying to win games out here, and that's the culture that we've built over here since the last 4 years. And if we're, like I said, if we're sacking, if it's Carl, Cam, Marcus, or me, I mean, it doesn't matter. Big O, rank, you know, that's what it's all about. It's a team game. I wouldn't be able to get after it, you know, at the back end too. So, I mean, couldn't be happier with our guys.
All right, that wraps
is
it
there
up.
Is there any personal gratification though, just like in all the work that you've put in, that it's showing up in this way, and you're, you know, people are recognizing you for what you're doing?
The work's not done yet. Thank you.
Marcus Williams.
All right, you guys can go ahead and put your questions in the chat for Marcus. First one's from Nick Underhill.
Marcus, have you seen your work this year? Just, I know you put in the work this offseason. I know you put in the work this offseason to improve on your tackling, and it looks like it's really showing up, especially today. You had a few plays. Do you feel like that work's paying off this season?
I don't do a lot of talking. As y'all can see, I just come out here and I just do my job. And all season, I've been working on, you know, tackles, different type of tackles, and you see it's paying off. You just got to continue to work. And, you know, it's never finished on the work that you can put in. So I'm just going to continue to get better and continue to do what I have to do to make sure that I'm the best that I can be on the field each and every week.
Next one from Amy Just.
Y'all were a little shorthanded out at corner today, and y'all shifted PJ over when P-Rob went out. How do you think that he did out there today?
We have that next man up mentality. We already know if somebody goes down, somebody's going to have to come in. And PJ always does his job when he comes in, and he plays each and every play, and he goes hard. And that's what you ask for. He's a Swiss Army knife, just like they call Taysom on offense. We got that in PJ. He plays nickel, he plays safety, and he plays corner. So when he comes in, he gives us his all, and that's all we can ask from him.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Mo, describe what you saw in that sequence late in the game. I think they had a 2nd and 2 at y'all's 13, and you got stops on the next 3 plays. Like, what did you see on those plays?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What did you see on those plays like late in the game? They had like a 2nd and 2 at y'all's 13. You made the 3 straight stops to turn the ball back over to the offense.
Well, we just did our job. Film study comes into play when we're in, the red zone, stuff like that. We just defend each and every play like it's our last, and that's what got us over the hump today on those 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, 2nd and 2, whatever the situation was. We prepared, and we go out there and we got the stops.
Next one's from Sean Fazend.
I guess along the same lines, just the actual 4th down play to Julio, where you came over and knocked the ball down, what kind of developed on that play in front of you, were you able to make the play?
First off, it was great coverage by PJ. He went out there, he covered him, and the ball went up, and we both made that play. It wasn't just me, it was me and him. So we made that play, and it was a good result after that.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Hey, Marcus, is this as good of a just team defense as you guys have played since you got to New Orleans? Like in the last few weeks, I mean.
I feel like we're just a come together group. We've come together in the past couple of weeks. This year, we just took it one day at a time, one game at a time, starts in practice, and it translates to the game. So we preach it in practice all week, come out to the game, and our results speak for themselves.
We're all set. Thank you, Marcus.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate it. Ready, Jared?
All right, we have Jared Cook. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and I'll call on you guys. First question's from Nick Underhill.
Hey, Jared, did you guys see anything different in the way they defended you guys or the coverages they played from the first game to this game, just with the quick turnaround? What was it the same, or were there differences?
Different, mostly on like 3rd down and to the end. How they played me was different. Played a lot of 2-man with safety up over top and then man underneath. And, we saw that on the first drive and just try to do our best to take advantage of that.
Next one's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Jared, how much have you just seen Taysom evolve in these 3 games? I know it's a small sample size, but how much has he evolved in that little short amount of time?
All of man, doing everything that we could ask of him, and then some on top of that. His preparation, going into games, and then his execution in games is a step up that we need. And he's just been a huge clutch player for us in the moments that Drew's been out, man. So that's off the Taysom, and he'll continue to keep balling.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Jared, when Mike is playing the way he did today, how much does that open things up for y'all offensively?
It's hard for defenses to be right. You try to key in on one player or 2 players, and then somebody else is going to end up beating you. So it really makes defenses play honest. And not only just Mike, but guys like AK and Tay Train. Defenses play different when they know these guys are in the game. So, he just brings a different matchup and matchup problems for the defense.
Next one's from Amy Just.
We've talked about this a little before, but that touchdown pass that Taysom threw to you, it looks like there was quite a bit of heat on it. what kind of happened on that play and how was the velocity on that pass?
It was cool. It was what we thought in practice all week. But we thought the heat was going to come from the corner and not the safety. We knew that was going to be a tight throw window. And that's how Taysom had to throw that in order to get that, to beat the safety from getting there on time. So, but it was a great pass by him in a tight window.
All right, Jared, we're all set. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.
Marshawn Lattimore.
You guys can go ahead and put your questions in the chat for Marshawn, and I'll call on you. First one's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Marshawn, can you just describe what you saw in that sequence late in the game? They had like a 2nd and 2 at the 13, and y'all got the 3 straight stops after that. Ball back to the offense.
I can't hear you. What you say? I couldn't hear you.
Can you describe what you saw in that sequence late in the game? They had a 2nd and 2 at y'all's 13, and you got the 3 straight stops to get the ball back to the offense.
We just know we had to step up. We had to step up for the offense, and that's what we did all game. If they down, like I said before, if they down, we gonna pick it up. We down, they pick it up. It go hand in hand. So, we just had to step up. We knew we did. We just been rocking.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Y'all were a little shorthanded at corner coming into the game without Jack Rabbit, and then P-Rob got hurt pretty early. What did you see from PJ the rest of the game?
Man, he went out there and did what he had to do. We got the win. Corner, we've been playing all positions, nickel, corner, safety. So for him to get in, do what he did, try to hold Julio to what he held him to, that's big. We look at that like a good job. We got the dub, so we just happy he went in there and did what he had to do.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Have you seen Marcus Williams just improve this year in his tackling and some of the plays he makes in the box? And when he's doing that stuff, what does that do for the whole defense?
I told him early this season, I want him to come down and smack people. Make them come down and make them fear you. They ain't feared, with that. So I told him that, man. He been turning up. He been making them good plays, good tackles, and that pump all of us up when we see Dub doing that.
We're all set. Thank you, Marshawn.
Thank you.
Is anyone else coming, Mackenzie?
Not sure yet. I'll keep you guys posted.
Carl Granderson will be next. We still have Cam and Demario to do as well, so that'll probably be it. Oh, gotta go so far. The alternative wasn't so great, so no doubt.
All right, we have Cam Jordan joining us. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and I'll call on you. First question's from Amy Just.
Y'all got Sheldon back today. Just how big was that for you to get him back after he missed 4 games?
Okay, what was that last question? You barely coming in.
Sheldon is back. What was it like for y'all having him back after missing 4 games?
Yeah, having Sheldon back is a major presence that we miss. I mean, he's an intelligent D lineman, and he's a force in the middle. And with that pressure,
up the middle, we can really come off the edges. It's exciting to get him back, and then get him in there, and for him to be an early force. That's what we need. And I mean, David is playing at some extremely high level. Our two middle terrors is back, along with Malcolm Brown, who left the game early. I think we'll see what happens with that, but super excited for Ranks to be back.
And then another guy on the outside, Carl, with his strip sack, had to have Sean challenge for that to stand. So what did you see from him on that play?
I mean, he had a phenomenal push by counter spin, and reached out for the ball. And I mean, when you got high effort like that, I mean, you can only be rewarded. It's huge.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Kim, you guys had gone 14 straight quarters without allowing a touchdown, but then every drive still mattered in the fourth quarter. How intense did that make those last two series for Atlanta, and how big to come up with that goal line stand in the end?
I mean, that's huge. I mean, whether they, we never want anybody to score on us, even with the field goals. But when it comes down to it, we gave up a lot of those yards on that touchdown drive through penalties, and that's something we can control. But we have to say, chuck it up to just a high intense level of the game that we played. I see you, boy. Okay, Sean.
Next one's from Doug Mouton. Okay, well, the defense is playing as good as it's been the last few weeks. How much fun is it for you out there?
It's great to be out there, being able to really get after quarterbacks like that. I mean, there was a time where Matt Ryan flushed out, and we put a hit out on him, and it seems like we made him uncomfortable in that pocket. It's another one of those weeks where it's like, I got a sack, or Carl got a sack, David got a sack, I got a sack, maybe if Trey got a sack. I'm pretty sure we may split that sack. I'm not sure how that works. I haven't even looked at the stat sheet. They probably gave it to Trey, and I think Trey came up to me and was like, "Yo, that's mine." I was like, "If you say so." Hey, as long as we keep hitting this quarterback and we get these W's, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Last one's from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, Cam, can you just describe what you saw on that sequence at the end of the game? It was like a 2nd and 2 at y'all's 13, and you got the 3 straight stops. Like what? Especially on that 7-yard loss with Gurley.
I would say that huge TFL. Oh yeah, I mean the
Nino Brown.
Hey, the defense was riding, and I mean, we always say put it on our defense, put it on us, and we went out with that mentality. We got down to the red zone, and we ended up coming away with exactly what we needed to. I mean, we had a major stop on second down. We had another stop on 3rd down. Of course, we get the ball back to our offense and whittle the time down, and we have to go back out there. And we like us, especially if we're defending a touchdown. We love us.
Were you surprised that they ran like a running play with Gurley there on 3rd and 3?
No, I mean, that series they had a run, and they were semi-successful with that one. But at the end of the day, whatever they did was not enough. We came out with the victory today. I mean, huge respects to them. It's hard as hell to beat your opponent. You're an in-division rival twice, and especially as heated as this game was. It's kudos to the defense, kudos to our offense. And we got to keep on continuing to elevate our play each and every week.
Thank you, Cam.
Yeah.
Of Carl Granderson.
All right, we have Carl Granderson. First question's from Amy Just.
Sorry, technical difficulties. What did you see on that strip sack there? And, did you know that it was a strip sack, and you're fortunate that Sean challenged?
Oh, I didn't know at first, until the review, but, I just went out there and I just tried to execute my plan, and it worked, and I got to the quarterback.
I mean, what does it mean to you? I mean, on this field last year, Shy Tuttle embarrassed Matt Ryan, and you got your chance. What does that mean to you?
Brando! Say that again. You said, what does it mean for what?
Yeah, I mean, Shy Tuttle had his shot at Matt Ryan last year, and now you get your shot this year on this field. What does that mean to you that you're getting involved up there, even with all of the talent on this defensive line?
First off, I want to say it's a blessing. You know, I'm very thankful to be out there. You know, Sean got after him last year. The whole defense got after him. You know, last year in the first game this year. So, I want to say, you know, it's a blessing, and it means a lot to be out there to play for my teammates and execute the game plan. That's what it's all about.
All right, I think we're all set. Thank you, Carl.
I'm good.
All set, Carl. Yes, sir.
You're all set, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I did, man. I see you, bro. Go, Jamie. Yes, sir. I know.
This was better. This was. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You guys can put your questions in for Demario Davis. First one's from Mike Triplett.
Right, we talked a lot about your red zone.
I'm just, oh my goodness. I'm inspired.
Demario, we've talked a lot about your red zone defense all year. How it was. We've talked a lot about the team's red zone defense all year, about how it was something you wanted to get better at early in the year, and how good it's been.
I definitely need that out. Put that down. Did you get it? Perfect. You can't use the video unless you put.
Yeah, I got it. From here. I gotta keep it up?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about, J Matt.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Demario. We've talked a lot about your red zone defense all year, when it was something you had to improve, and then when it's been great. But like, how rewarding was it that when you guys absolutely had to have that red zone stop, where it made the difference in this game, that you guys were able to deliver?
Coach harps on it all the time that, you know, the good teams down the stretch are the ones that can be efficient in the red zone, whether it's on offense or it's on defense. And so we know that's important to get where we need to go. And so it was important for us to get a stop in that situation. You never know when you're going to be in it. And when you're there, you just got to be able to make the plays. And it was fortunate for us to be able to make the plays there.
Why do you think you guys have gotten so much better in that area? Is it as much a mindset as it is anything technical?
It's a lot that goes into it. I mean, it's a very detailed game. You have to be able to execute at a high level. And sometimes it's on the offense. They just make great plays. Sometimes defense just gets the best of them, or it's nowhere to go with the ball, and you get pressure. And it's a number of reasons that allow you to play effective down in there. Your eyes have to be right. You have to know what concepts are coming, and it worked out well for us today.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Yeah, hey, Demario, when the defense is playing as well as it is over the last few weeks, how much fun is it, and how much more sort of loose can you play when it's going so well?
Anybody that's watched us play knows, we're a very energetic group. We like to play with tons and tons of swag. And the only way that you can, show that swag and play with the energy is when you're making plays. I think it's a credit to a lot of the guys, individually each week, guys out there trying to make plays. And so when the ball comes their way, they're trying to make it. And it's just great when guys are making plays, and when you have a group of guys that get excited for the other guys who are making plays. And so it's just a great brotherhood to be a part of, and we're flowing right now. We just got to keep it going.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Mario, when Atlanta had that kind of goal line situation down there, I think they were at y'all's 13 with about 2 minutes left. You made both the tackles on Todd Gurley. Can you just walk me through what you saw on those two plays, the second down and the third down?
Yeah, first of all, Gurley's been a phenomenal back in this league for a long time. Atlanta, we knew Atlanta is using him a lot in the red zone. He comes alive in the red zone. They had some success on that drive and running the ball. They were running, the crunch concept that we call a crunch concept, where the tight end comes across and, it can kind of exchange the gaps. And so they had some success in that. While we were expecting pass, they did that. So just coming down the stretch, just kind of trying to think what the offensive coordinator would call. He's going to run the plays that he's had success on. He hasn't had a lot of success today, and those were the ones. And so that second down, third down, the first one, I think he didn't actually do the crunch play. He just ran like a regular run play. And then he tried to come back to it. And I think it was Chauncey that came back there first flying and then knocked it back. And then I was just able to come across the top and make the tackle.
All right, I think we're all set. Thank you, Demario.
Hey, thank you, guys. Be blessed.
Doug, that's it, right?
Hang tight. We might have one more guy. We're checking.
All right, we have Michael Thomas joining us. You guys can go ahead and put your questions in. First question's from Doug Mouton.
Yeah, hey, sorry, Mike. Could you notice Taysom sort of quicker on the trigger in this game? It seemed like he was decisive and getting rid of the ball quicker. Have you seen that in him? And talk a little bit about what you've seen sort of in his evolution.
Hey, Mike, I think you're on mute.
We'll start with the same question.
You can blame Doug for that.
You need me to go again?
Yes, go ahead, Doug.
Okay, my bad. Was Taysom Hill quicker on the trigger this week? Did you see him getting rid of it faster, being more decisive? Talk a little bit about what you've seen in his development in 3 weeks.
I've just seen the guy come in and handle the situation very well. He's improved week in and week out. He's getting more comfortable. Obviously, you can see that. And you can tell a guy that loves football and just wants to win. So whenever you have a guy like that behind center, you just want to help him and make him right and compliment him and make his job that much easier when he throws you the ball.
Next question's from Rod Walker.
Yeah, Mike, that was actually my same question, but I guess I'll flip it to something else. But what's the chemistry sort of been like with you and Taysom? Are you all starting to develop that chemistry?
Yeah, whatever he asks for me to do and however he wants me to run it and wherever he needs me to be when my number's called, I'm trying to be there and be exactly where he needs me to be. So we've just been working on that during practice. Like I said, he's improved week in and week out. Sky's the limit for him because he's a guy that wants to learn and willing to get better, and I love that about him.
Next question's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Mike, can you describe what you saw on that? I think it was a 3rd and 17. You ran it right to the sticks, and Taysom kind of stuck it on you. Can you describe what you saw on that play?
We knew the situation. During the week we practiced 3rd down, and coach, right when we come to a huddle, he always tells us know the down and distance, know what we got to get.
I did. Thank you.
Field. So when your number is called and the play presents itself, we're still trying to get to more plays and we're still trying to get first down to move the chain. So whatever it takes, you always got to get your depth and make sure you get it. You can't just, cut off the route short or, not be where the quarterback needs you when it's time to make a play. So I just ran a play that came in and they called and executed to a high level. And me and Taysom were on the same page. And I knew what it was. It was got to have it 3rd down.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Mike, can you just talk in general about how good it feels to win 9 straight games, despite the fact you guys have had some significant injuries, some games that have been tight that forced different kinds of wins? Just feeling good about winning 9 straight and actually clinching the playoffs today?
Man, yeah, it's definitely a blessing to be in this situation. I feel like it's the culture that we've built, since I've gotten here. We've slowly built it, and we demand it. We demand it now, and we demand success. We demand excellence. We come into whether home or away. If we're playing the Superdome or playing on the road, we're coming to win games. We're not just coming here to just play the team that we're going against. We're trying to win, no matter who's in front of us. So, as long as we keep that mindset with the coaches that we have and the skill set we have on both offense, defense, and special teams, we're a very dominant team, and everyone knows that.
Last one's from Nick Underhill.
Mike, did you guys see anything different in the coverage this week compared to the first time you played them? It seemed like maybe 3rd down they defended a little bit differently, but did they throw a lot of different stuff at you guys from the first game to this game?
They played on 3rd down. They played 2-man, a lot more 2-man. The first week they played a lot of man, more so just head up man, and those guys played right and left. But you notice 24, he traveled this whole game, and played 2-man, I want to say every down on 3rd down, at least that I was in. So, we have plays to be 2-man, and we have a great offensive coordinator that knows how to dial it up. So we don't really panic in those type of situations. We just go out there and execute the play that's called and try to make the best out of it and move the chains.
All right, we're all set. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Michael.
Yes, sir. You know where the bus is?